I think I'm live. I think I'm live. Okay. Do you want me to turn my which side do you want to be on? Okay. Hey, cut it out. All right. So, uh, um, mm, 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 mm. Oh, you're just being coy now. Okay. So I have a special guest today. This is my niece, Kalia. She's also my apprentice. And okay, cut that out. Yeah. All right. So, hi everybody. Hello, my howlers. I am Sako Toomey, also known as Cass Voight, and today we're going to talk about tulpas and manifest boxes. So, I basically my apprentice came to me this morning and asked me if I had any wish spells. And I was like, absolutely, I have wish spells. And then I, I was basically like, write your wish on a piece of paper and then draw a picture underneath. I was talking about a sigil, but she drew like a manifest picture, like this is what my friend looks like and this is what is going to be, come to fruition. And then she just ran away, but that's okay. And her wish was to make her imaginary friends real. And I was like, we can actually make that happen. So,
Welcome to our astronomy live stream.
it's not an astronomy live stream, it's a witchy live stream. This is Kalia, my 6-year-old niece. She's being coy, and she's playing. It's kind of like being shy and playful, and yeah, basically, shy and playful. Okay, so we can start with the manifest box. I basically explained to her, I think my manifest box notes are in my book of shadows. However, so what we're gonna do is we've made the wish on a piece of paper. We've put the picture on it. We're gonna get a wooden box. We're gonna decorate the wooden box however she likes. It'll be craft day. It'll be awesome. And then, which we'll probably go out and get a box today, maybe. It'd be super fun. And get some decoration stuff like glitter, and because she wants it to be sparkly. And then we're gonna go into making a tulpa. So a tulpa is basically a manifestation of, it's like making an imaginary friend, but your imaginary friend has become sentient and can help you like make decisions and can help you in other ways too.
And my imaginary.
How many imaginary friends do you have?
A lot.
A lot? How many?
I can't tell you the number. Though.
Oh, because
It's a
there's
secret number.
It's a secret number, and there's so many. There's so many you haven't counted. Is that true, or is it actually a secret number?
It is actually a secret number.
Okay. Okay. I don't have to know. So I'm gonna teach her how to basically bond with her imaginary friends, and maybe she can carry her imaginary friends into her adulthood. However, rather than forgetting her imaginary friends, I'm gonna teach her how to make a kill switch, just so that they don't rebel against her. But that's the goal. I don't know where she's going. She's probably gonna go play with Legos or something. So, oh, my meds are right in front of me. That's convenient. I have a reminder on my Computron to take my meds. I'm starting to feel like a normal human being again. I went 6 days without meds. And coming off of my meds was like the worst withdrawal I've ever had. And I used to be addicted to opioids. Oh, goodness. All right. Complete. I am... Okay, I already offered a thumbs up to her. Hint, them, and... How come my stream isn't the first thing that's up? That is dumb. Okay, just making sure my comments were up to date. All right, great. I kind of summed up the beginning of it. Oh, I should get my manifest box and show it to you guys. I can probably take my wish out of my box too, because it probably came true. I don't know what she's doing. All right. Bucky book. So, on top of that, I also wanted to talk about languages and markings and namings. So, the Theban alphabet is used to inscribe tools and jewels, gems, you know, that sort of thing. Celestial is for ceremonial magic. So, like, if you have like a ceremonial thame, a thane, whatever, you can use celestial on it. And then Futhark can be used for divination. To create a monogram, layer the runes on top of each other. Enochian, Ogum is for staves and stones. And then I go into potions and oils. So, knowing all of that, you can use these alphabets for your sigils and make your sigil like super interesting. And yeah, it'll be awesome. Hook me up in the chat, guys. Jeez. Oh, it's just telling me top chat. I need to know live chat. What the heck are you doing, YouTube? What the heck are you doing, YouTube? Jeez Louise. Alright, I've already been streaming for 8 minutes. I guess I can talk about anything now. Jeez. So, tulpas. Where's my... Where's my book of mirrors? Here, hold on. Okay, right on, cat. All right, so I'm technically gonna make a video about tulpas, like come July. I'm gonna do a series on um, God forms and thought forms. So I'll be recapping this, which means I'm probably not going to save this stream. Um, where's my stuff? God forms. Okay. So yeah, we have God forms, which is a concept in chaos magic where a practitioner allows the essence of a certain god in the form of a mental construct to overlap their energy. The practitioner then takes on the attributes of that god within ceremonial or ritual work. While they are not interacting or horsing a deity, oh, like riding them or anything, um, or entity to influence their own abilities and work. I don't know why. I don't understand the how I made that sentence. Yeah, I don't know. So how is this different from invoking? Um, I argue it isn't. Um, and then I have stuff on invoking in my Book of Shadows. Um, so a god form is a sentient personification of a specific aspect of the brain and the correlation nerve cluster, i.e. circuit, chakra, sephirot, stuff like that. That it's in charge of. By lavishing it with devotion, you are pumping enormous amounts of attention, i.e. food, into this god form, and in doing so, this area expands and is greatly enhanced. What's up, Mama? Oh, I don't know where they are. I haven't seen them.
Yeah, she thought she had them upstairs last night, and they're not showing up anywhere.
They're not in her purse?
Where's her purse?
It used to be in the living room. Yeah. Are there pills in there? Okay.
Found them. Found them.
Sorry, kiddo. All right. As before, the model used will be based on the 8 circuits of the consciousness, but you can use whatever system rocks your socks yours. For example, if you worship Thoth, your literary skills would level up, right? So I invoke Saraswati, who's the Hindu goddess of like creativity and art and music and all of those things, beauty, among other things. I invoke Ganesh for like money things and fortune and prosperity. I invoke Hecate for my actual like spiritual witchcrafty things. And I've recently come across a new god that I might start paying homage to. Because before, like Brahmari, something like that. I have a bunch of gods in here. A bunch of gods. What you doing, kiddo? No, you shouldn't. You should just leave him alone if he's doing that. Invoking. So, We can invoke ancestors. Do you guys want to hear about invoking ancestors? I was talking about gods, right? God forms and stuff. So we'll stick with God forms. We've got Hecate, i.e. the Dark Mother, the three-faced goddess of the new moon. She can grant you enhanced psychic powers, fertility, romance, protection, freedom from illness, magic restitution for any crime committed against you. She's stern and swift. So paying homage to her this is the most that I've ever done for a goddess. I have an invocation, like an incantation that I say. It's kind of long. Also, at dark, at a crossroads during a new moon, offer her garlic, lavender, and honey. I usually do one or the other. I don't do all three. If you can, bring a dog. I don't own one. And then, like, the various correspondences, right? So, I made a shrine to her, which is the primary shrine in my bedroom. But the Dark Mother is basically Hecate, Demeter, Kali, Nemesis, Morrigan, Tiamat, bringers of destruction who embody the crone. And then I go into Kali. And then I go into Ganesh, Benzaiten, who is the one of Japan's lucky gods, one of the seven. She's a muse for artists. She's a harvest goddess and good for prosperity. I go quite long on Benzaiten. I keep snake skin. So she appears as a snake, right? Which is why snakes are lucky in Japan, because they are Benzaiten's messengers of heaven, right? So that's one of the reasons why I want to get snakes tattooed on my body. Bomari was the demi-goddess of black bees. I got selected during Halloween, I believe. October is late for wasps to be out, and like a black wasp basically zoomed down my back, like under my shirt, and stung me 7 times in the back. And I was like, what the? But in October, what the? So I looked up a goddess of black bees, and Parvati showed to the battlefield. She grew to a massive size, wielding a mace, trident, longsword, and shield in her 4 hands. Her 3 eyes shone like the sun, the moon, and the eternal fire. She closed her eyes in concentration, summoning forth countless bees, hornets, wasps, flies, termites, mosquitoes, and spiders from the skies. They crawled onto her body and clung to her body, merging with her to create the divine form, Brahmari Devi, right? So I was like, have I been chosen by Brahmari? So I basically paid some homage to Brahmari, and they've been leaving me alone since. Then I've got Bast, I've got Sekhmet, who are sisters in the Egyptian pantheon. I've got a holder for Inanna, which I wrote in my book of mirrors. I've got a holder for Sin, because I started looking for root gods, because like as you might have noticed with the with the Dark Mother, she's basically all of these gods, all of these goddesses, basically, that represent the same thing, just in different parts of the world. And I was like, there has to be a root. Like, she might have a different name in a different culture, but there has to be a root. So I found out for the feminine energy, it was Inanna, and for the masculine energy, it was Sin. So I haven't done the homework on Sin yet, but I did do the homework on Inanna. And I did find it really super interesting. Oh, there's my servitor stuff. Inanna, Ishtar. So the Mesopotamian goddess associated with love, beauty, sex, desire, fertility, war, justice, and political power. So, yeah, but the Sumerians worshipped Inanna as the goddess of both warfare and sexuality, but unlike the other gods whose roles were static and whose domains were limited, the stories describe her as moving from conquest to conquest. So she is distinctly not a mother or a goddess of marriage, which, I can totally, respect. She was portrayed as young and impetuous, constantly striving for more power than she was allotted. While she was worshipped as the goddess of love, she was not a goddess of marriage nor as a mother. The dance of Inanna is a term for battle, associated with the planet Venus and Pisces. And then she's, her symbol is the 8-pointed star with the spiral in the middle, associated with lions and doves. So I started looking for the lions thing, and then there's Sekhmet, whose thing is lions, right? Yeah. And then I go into like hypnagogia and weirdness like that. So I guess my next step is to look at Sin, who is the masculine energy. Speaking of masculine energy, I went hedge riding. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with me, but I went hedge riding for Litha, and for the 21st, I was looking for real estate to move my domain, like DEMESNE domain, kind of like a private Idaho in your head, basically, where you can do magic work. I don't know what my cats are doing. They're being weird. Is hedge riding something like automatic riding? So hedge riding as in like to ride a horse? Hedge riding. But automatic writing is also like totally a thing. Automatic writing, automatic drawing. As a form of divination, as a form of, because when you do that, you go into hypnagogia or you go into gnosis, and then you basically channel whatever spirit, whatever God, whatever thought form, or other people's thought forms, or whatever, channel through you, and you are not conscious of what you're drawing or writing. You basically find it after the fact. I love doing that and then analyzing the handwriting, because it's never my handwriting. Like, at least it wasn't. I used to do it a lot when I was young. I haven't done it in ages, but I've been pretty guarded. For instance, on the 22nd, what happened was I stayed in my domain like locally. I didn't go to the other realm, and because my tulpas wouldn't come with me, and I was like, oh, I want to spend time with my tulpas. That's fine. And I had a trespasser. Like, yeah, I made gates on the 21st, but I wasn't expecting other things to come through the gate to my neighborhood. So, I knew him as the Horned God. Was bearded, tattooed, cloven feet, very masculine, very sexual, very nature oriented, very. He kept trying to claim my woods as his and wanted to hunt my tulpas. And I was like, you don't get to do that, no. And I told him multiple times to get the fuck out. I ended up banishing him so that, and he just paced back and forth around my woods. His resonance is still around, so like I keep thinking he's there and he's not. And then I did some homework, and apparently the god is Cyrnos, which is, I don't normally go into Celtic lore because I'm not a Celt. Like, I'm a Visigoth, but the Visigoths believed in Cyrnos as well, in Serun or Kerun. So I might have pissed off a god. I heard he can be cruel and unforgiving. Don't know if I can repair that relationship. As you could tell through when I was going through my invoking list, basically I don't have a particularly strong male influence, masculine influence in my practice. Like the only male character I have is Ganesh, and they're kind of, they're not particularly masculine. They're just, I mean, they're male, but like if they're female, it's not a big deal. It's still Ganesh, right? Aw, hi kitten. He's like nuzzling my feet. He's adorable. He's my familiar. I would like to introduce him. He's about to play with his fountain anyway. Come here, baby. Oh my god, why are you wet? This is Nobukatsu. He is my familiar. He throws cards. He offers me energy during rituals. He hasn't done that in a while, but he always has to be involved. Look at your face. Yeah. Oh, they threw away my blackberry spread. That's sad. Sad. Sorry, I got distracted. So we can talk about familiars too.
Nobu and Pabu are friends.
They are.
It sounds like Nobu and Pabu are such cuties.
Yeah, they is.
And Muppet's a cutie.
And Muppet's a cutie.
I just like houses with three cuties.
I like houses with three cuties as well. All the cuties. All the cuties.
And Pabu is a cutie.
Yes. That was implied.
'Cause I like Pabu. Pabu's my favorite kitty in Woodbridge. And who's your favorite kitty in Woodbridge?
I am busy on my streams, dear heart. Yeah, but I'm not going to talk about my favorite kitty. I'm going to talk about other people's favorite kitties and how to bond with them. So I think I have a spell in here for pets, actually. Pets. This is for bonding with them, question mark? I don't know what this is for. I never put the intention on it. Oh, to make them happy, calm, healthy. Basically how to cast spells on your pet and use their energy and all of that jazz. So, it looks like green, brown, and white candles, 4 pieces of string, paracord, ribbon, whatever. One of your pet's toys, some jade, some rose quartz, some smoky quartz, a dish to put things in or on, and paint chips can sub for crystals if like jade is expensive, goddamn. So we can just have some green paint chips that will substitute for any of those. If you can work in the same room as your pet, that would be ideal. I have a sigil here for a happy, calm, healthy pet. Light candles. Cut 1 string long enough to wrap around your wrist and wave it over the candles without touching the flames. And then, tie it around your wrist. Cut 2 strings of equal length that can wrap around the toy and wave it over the flames. Cut the 4th string for your pet and wave it over the flames. Tie this to his collar. Wave each of your crystals over the flames and place them in the dish. Take your, which is weird because isn't paint flammable? I don't know. Okay. So take your 2 strings of equal length and make a heart knot in both strings. I have a tutorial, but it's super hard. Use these 2 strings to tie around the toy. Set the bound toy in the bowl with the crystals. Make sure your wrist and the pet's collar are bound, and then snuff the candles. So after 3 days, undo all the strings and return the toy to your pet. So that's a bonding ritual. It's a very crunchy, crunchy ritual. Let's see. You know what? This is a coffee hour. I got a bunch of coffee spells. So, speaking of coffee. So my bad coffee, if you didn't notice on Sage's stream. All right, first you can use espresso and cinnamon for spells requiring speed or concentration. Coffee beans, that sort of thing, that's fine. Cold press to slow things down or anything that requires time or reflection. To draw things towards you, stir your coffee clockwise. To repel things away from you, stir your coffee counterclockwise. Sprinkle fresh coffee beans on your altar to encourage summon entities to work harder towards your goal. Cowboy coffee can be used as tessiography. Tessiography being the ability to read tea leaves. Coffee grounds also. So not just cowboy coffee, but also like Turkish coffee, Cuban coffee, that sort of thing. Break a curse or recover from an illness with a coffee bath. Add a whole pot to a magical bath. That will break the curse. Cinnamon cinnamon for money, ginger and nutmeg for wisdom. Coffee makes a great altar offering, especially for ancestors, because you're basically inviting your ancestors for coffee. It's basically what you're doing. So if you're invoking either ancestors or spirits or gods, what I would do is have a libation of sorts. Like, I have goofy cups like this. Somewhere, oh, it's in my bedroom. I actually have like a ritual cup that I often drink out of for streams and stuff because it's a super fancy cup and I love it. Also, coffee beans or grounds can be used to dispel nightmares, internal blockages, and negative thoughts. So you can add it to like pouches or bottles or jars, that's that sort of stuff. For any of that stuff. And then I have even more stuff on coffee. Like like it said, it was a nightmare ward. The only thing about adding coffee to a sleep ward spell is it also speeds up time. So like it's actually time magic at that point. So cold press would slow things down, and then hot, like just straight coffee beans or grounds. I do beans, but by by putting beans in your spell, it can speed things up. For instance, my dreams can be anywhere between 2 weeks to like 5 years worth of content in one night. So I wake up older and more tired than when I went to bed. And then I have to like people are like, well, what did you dream about last night? Like my therapist and stuff. And I'm like, how do you sum up 5 years in 45 minutes? Like, I don't know. It's not like I have a journal in my dreams. And a lot of times I don't even, like even in hypnagogic state, like as I'm waking up, they say that's the perfect time to write down your dreams because they're still fresh on your memory. Not me. I might remember a couple things, but I won't remember the whole thing because 5 years have passed. So a fellow witch basically was like, hey, you might want to take the coffee out of your nightmare wards. Like, it's probably making your sleep messed up like that because of that. So under my bed, I have a satchel full of herbs, kind of like a witch's bottle. It's like or a witch's jar. Oops, kicked over my bag. Your dreams are so vivid all the time. You can ward them, or you can learn how to harness them. I haven't, so my dreams are just stressful enough, and my hedge riding was just stressful enough, and so if you figure out how to harness that stuff and make it not a thing, then freaking let me know. Good Lord. But my dreams are also quite vivid, and like they're like, oh, so you lucid dream? And I'm like, lucid dreaming implies that I have control, and I don't. It's basically like real life, And get this. So in 2016, Trump was elected, right? In 2016, I was also going through what I call the gauntlet, where I basically figure out what my sorry, I got distracted by Jenny Noble's awesome comment. I know I can control them enough most of the time. The only time I can't is when they are trying to tell me something. Oh, that's interesting. I dream of people dying about 2 weeks before they do. I've done that several times. No, it's very interesting. Like, my dreams used to be like that, and now I don't remember any of them. Need to work on that. So you can work on that with Hypnagogia. Like Ernest Hemingway, Albert Einstein, Ben Franklin, they all used a method called Hypnagogia. And basically, that space between wake and sleep, both falling asleep and waking up, there's like this window where like your brain will try to tell you stuff. So it'll give you ideas, it'll give you inspiration, it'll like that's where the magic happens, right? So that's one of the reasons why medical journals and stuff will tell you in order to remember your dreams, like, and keep a dream journal, you should like keep a journal next to your bed so that as soon as you wake up, you can write it down, because while you need to write it down while you're in that hypnagogic state. So my hypnagogic stuff is like, I don't even know what it means. Like, where is it? Hypnagogia. So my notes are really weird. Like, they don't make sense to me. I have a snippet because, okay, so let me preface this by saying I do this with naps, okay? I set a timer basically for 10 minutes, which gives me time to fall asleep. It's not long enough for me to hit a REM cycle. And then when the alarm goes off, you write it down. Because it's just long enough to start seeing images. Like, the hypnagogic state is also notorious for giving hallucinations. So, like, if you have, like, sleep paralysis, for instance, that happens during hypnagogia. Ginny says, I am not functional enough to think, much less write first thing in the morning. Right? Every once in a while I can remember my dreams, but I have to be out of the hypnagogic state in order to do it, because sometimes I get sleep paralysis and I don't. Not that like I have a demon sitting at the foot of my bed or anything like that, but itchy hand. I just can't move. I'm conscious, just I can't move. So I had a hypnagogic, the last hypnagogic thing I wrote was in December of 2019, on Christmas Day, oddly enough. And it says I was vying for a man's affections, and we were basically, like at a venue of some kind, and we were going from the venue to like a diner. And he was like, it's close enough that you can walk, but some people might want to drive. So it says, why don't they walk and you and I drive to the diner? And I said, make sex. And then we both kind of stare at each other. And then I was like, sense. It makes sense. And I was so embarrassed. And he was like, no, come close. It's cool. And I was like, nope, nope, nope. My Freudian slip was showing, basically. Like, I had a hypnagogic experience of gnosis, basically, where I had an awkward Freudian slip with an attractive man. That's great. So that's the inside of my brain. Nick Witch's balls. Holy crap. Jeez. Weird. What do you think about dream walking? Okay, so it depends on where you walk. If you are walking from dream to dream, that can be invasive. I think there's etiquette involved in like hopping heads. If you are basically doing astral work, I would basically protect yourself with armor. I would have some spirit guides if that's a possibility. Like, I don't have any spirit guides, but I might now. A spirit took to me when I was in the metal realm, and now he's in my domain, and he's like hanging out in my woods, and he definitely has my best interest in mind. He doesn't seem to be a bad guy, so and he's a peregrine falcon. Like, okay, cool. At least that's the form he took. So so what do you mean by dream walking? Like, where are you going? Oh, I'm out of coffee. Do I want a third cup of coffee? I don't know. What do you think of dream walking? I have a dream. I have dream walked with a friend. He's come to my dreams, and we talked the next day about. Oh, that's cool. So the person is consenting to being head hopped, basically, like to. Um, yeah, that's awesome. Like, to have that kind of connection, to have that kind of reach. That's really cool. That's because that's solid trust. Like, also, if the like, I have a lot of wards up, so I suspect dream walking with me, A, would be hard to do anyway, B, would be stressful, unnecessarily stressful. It, like, they're not nightmares anymore because I don't feel fear in my dreams anymore. I'm just so used to it. But, like, it's just unnecessarily stressful. Like, how about a nice dream? The last time I had a nice dream, I was on Valium at the time. Like, yeah, a lot of trust has to be involved. Like, they have to let you in, basically. You want to know what we're talking about? So basically, this Ginny Noble person, most of my dreams have been nightmares, have been since I was little. So basically, the deal is, she had dreams, and one night she walked.
Hi there.
Yeah, she walked from one dream to her friend's dream, and they hung out together in their dreams together, and then they talked about the dreams the next day, and it was the same dream. So basically, we could hang out in the same dream, and like, you're just playing in the camera. Is that what's up? Hey, stop jumping. Yeah. Chill out. Yeah, so they love the pretty big bow. Isn't it cute? Oh. Okay. I got 5 minutes left. So 5 minutes of a child dancing behind me, basically. Some people go hedge riding while they're sleeping. Like, they do the astral travel while they're sleeping. And hey, go in the living room. I got 5 minutes left. Go in the living room. We can play with the camera later, and we can play music later, and we can make a manifest box later. Okay? Okay. Go on. Go on. Okay. So, she is cute. She's also my little apprentice. I'm going to teach her manifest boxes, and I'm going to teach her tulpa creation and tulpa management, because she's got imaginary friends and she wants them to be real. So I'm going to try and make them real to her, and maybe, yeah. So I'm going to get ready for my write-in. Oh my God, do I have the energy for a write-in? Oh. I've been up a long time. So I have a write-in from 10 a.m. Eastern to 1 p.m. Eastern. And then right after my stream is Keep Faith Baby's stream. So if you are still looking to be productive and prepare for Camp Nano and all of that stuff, Keep Faith Baby will basically be picking up the torch after me. So it's basically a relay. Just keep this ball rolling, you know? So we talked about a lot of things today. Invoking and manifest boxes and a little bit of like thought forms and stuff like that, and pets and, you know, languages and all that stuff. Thank you for the few of you that joined me for this witchy stream. Love that you were doing this. Nice to talk to someone of like mind. I don't get that around here. Yeah, we'll just hang out in the morning and drink coffee and talk witchy stuff, man. Like, I think there's a lot of, I mentioned this in my 6 principles video, but there's a lot of witches in the AuthorTube community, and there's not a lot of people talking about it, and I'm like, they don't have it in the forefront of their platform, but I'm definitely putting it in the forefront of mine. So you have a lot to look forward to. You certainly do. So all of July is going to be thought forms, and then August is going to be all hypnagogia and hedge writing. And there's a lot to hedge writing, so that'll be a series of videos. But that's my plan for July and August. And then if there's still interest after all of that, I will continue doing witchy tutorials. 2 minutes. I want to make coffee. Maybe put something in my stomach other than coffee. I will see you in like a hot second for writing things. See you in a few minutes.